How's it going, knife nerds? So today I've got a two-handed review of the Microtech Scarab 2. These came out in 2020. It was a really big deal for the Scarab 2 to make a return to the market because the original Scarab was really scarce and hard to get on the aftermarket for quite some time after they were discontinued. They were going for very high prices on the secondary market. If you could find one, it was going to be $800 or something crazy. And so when the Scarab 2 made an appearance, everybody got all excited and stuff. And here it is. So it's 2022 now, 2 years later. This is the Scarab 2. This belongs to my good bro, Mr. David Dawson. And he lent it to me to check out. He was pretty impressed with it. I can't say that I hate the knife. It's super, you get this cool classic Scarab look with it's got these little rubber bits of grip tape inlaid into these aluminum, milled cutouts here, and it really is. It's a rubbery feeling stuff, and it feels kind of like, I don't know, tread on a treadmill, I guess. It's kind of rubbery, and so it looks cool, but things get stuck in it. If you carried this a lot, I'm sure that stuff would hang on to a lot of dirt, grime, and nastiness. And does it add traction to the knife? Not particularly. So just for looks, really, not a super functional material. Now, this is a big motherfucking OTF, bigger than I've ever handled before, and I thought that would be cool to check out such a large OTF. Of course, it's nice that the first huge OTF that I get to check out is a Microtech, who is probably the most famous manufacturer of OTF knives. And so this one actually looks like, torques like a T6 or T8 screws on it, so you can actually disassemble this and clean it without needing a special tool. Man. So overall stylistic nature of the knife is very bland to me. It's a square box. It's just a square box. That's it. And we've got the Microtech badge there, made in the USA. We've got the release date, 2020, and then the serial number up here, and that's the clip, and it's the traditional Microtech clip with the glass breaker pummel on there, and a little lanyard hole divot dealio there. And this thumb button is the full big shebang, big large button here, and of course it does have that rattly Microtech button that I hate. Anyway, so deployment. Now, in my opinion, an OTF should be a one-handed operation knife. That's kind of the whole point of an OTF, is that it's automatic. You pull it out of your pocket, you push the button, and it deploys rapidly. Now, I will push the button and it will deploy rapidly. And this is the blade. We've got the traditional giant Microtech badging all over the blade. USA Microtech Scarab 2 single edge M390 steel. And the very sick looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fullers. And I dig the milling work on the blade there, which Microtech does very well. And just a very standard drop point blade, stone washed bevels, satin flats, nothing special going on the blade there. And so let me show you here how big this thing is. This is a giant knife, right? This is like, I don't know, I think the blade is about 3.75, 3.5, 3.75, somewhere around there. but it's a big honking OTF. And so, you know, it would be rather functional as a, you know, cutting implement for things. It's flat ground, and it's got a really nice sharp edge on it right now. Probably done by David, not my edge. It's good and sharp though. And yeah, so the biggest problem with this Microtech Scarab 2 is that although the deployment is very nice, I cannot close this knife with one hand. It's just not possible. My right hand is a little bit weak because of injuries sustained during my youth. I crushed this bone along here punching something stupid when I was like 13 years old, and then I cut myself real bad with a samurai sword when I was like 17. You know, this is freaking 30 years ago or whatever. And so I gashed this pinky right here across the top and cut into a tendon. And so this hand, and I also have carpal tunnel here, this hand is kind of jacked up. And so, but my left hand, which is naturally the weak hand, I can't even begin to touch that button either. There's just no way. It takes me two hands to close this knife, hence why I call it a two-handed review. So yeah, an automatic knife that requires, you know, or an OTF specifically that requires both hands to operate, I'm not a big fan of that. It's just, you know, and it's fine, you know, if you think about a out the side auto, you know, you typically, most of those require two hands to close the knife as well. I'm just not into autos these days. I'm really not. I don't care for them at all. I like bearings and flippers and, you know, action like that. But it's a cool knife. Would I buy it? Absolutely not. It's just not anything that excites me, not anything that I would want in my collection, nor be willing to pay the, you know, hefty price. I think these typically go for about $350 on the secondary market right now. You know, so not as hot as they used to be. The OG Scarabs commanded a really nice hefty price, and these Scarab 2s not so much. Unless you have one of the all black ones or some fancy version, and then of course, yeah, then you're gonna get, you know, it's gonna be a little more expensive. But these run about $350-ish on the secondary market, or when you can pick them up, you know, retail, they're somewhere around that price. Man, if I could close the button with one hand, would it be something cool then? No, the button's not the deal breaker for me. It's just not an exciting knife. It photographs really well. I mean, you look at that, that's super cool looking, you know, looks like really futuristic, but yet classic at the same time, like something you would see, you know, in an old 50s diner. And so, futuristic but classic at the same time. I dig the style. It looks cool for pictures, you know, your Instagram photos or whatever. You want to take some cool pocket dump pics. Yeah, this is a great knife for that. Would I want it in my pocket daily as an EDC? Definitely not. No. Other than that, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, later.